All right, welcome to episode 42 of Adventures in Inbetweening. Today we are going to have a special treat. We are looking at a song I animated from a show called Wow Wubbzy in 2006. I'm going to do this one a little differently today. I'm going to take a few extra seconds here to prepare you for this 75-second candy-coated confection. First we'll watch it, get the earworms going, and then I'll break it all down for you. All right, now the very first thing to say about this song is that Wubbzy was a very simple show, and we had a quota of 42 seconds a week. Now, this being 75 seconds long meant that I had 8 days to animate this, so I had to be very careful on my time management. This first shot here, I allocated half a day for. It's 4 hours, and you can see that there's not a lot going on with Wubbzy there. That was pretty simple. Now with these characters, as they were moving their arms quickly, I'm thinking, okay, I've got 4 hours to animate all of these with their hands going behind their heads, their arms going behind their heads. There's a lot of popping that needs to go on there, so you need to do some fast motion to cover that up. Like here, the arm is behind. On the next frame, it's in front of the body. A lot of tricks that are needed there. The legs are all just squashed and stretched. This is the only way to get this done in half a day and to move on to the next shot. The next shot being Wubbzy holding up the Fleasel here. And then we have 23 characters that need cycles to be made. Now, there's 23 characters in this shot. There's 9 characters in the next shot. I had 31 cycles that needed to be made here. Now, doing the math, I was thinking, okay, the only way I can do this is to do each cycle in 30 minutes. So I set, you can see each character here, I set a hard timeline for 30 minutes for each of these characters. And I remember when I was animating them, when I got to minute 25, I was just, okay, it's just got to work. 30 minutes, move on to the next one. Here's the other 8 characters. So I had 31 characters. I gave myself an extra half an hour just of free time in there. Yeah, I remember that shot vividly 16 years later. This one here, moving the legs of the horse, relatively, simple, but I didn't have time to move the horse's body and make that work with all the legs. It was just, okay, move the legs. This is a very design-heavy show. You can see the arms there are just rotating. The hand isn't really even holding the leash that tightly, but it's not the point of it. Now, here's where I did the leg walk cycles. I spent a lot of time on those legs because I reuse them later. We'll come back to that. Here with the trampoline, just getting that character masked behind the trampoline, stretching it out there. Now with the penguin, this penguin is the only character that doesn't have the standard feet to walk, so it was just a simple, just kind of make him move along and see if we can get the foot slip relatively working. Bring up that hat, offset those smiles. That's a really simple thing to do. If you can just have something go boop, 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 that doesn't take any extra time, it just takes a little bit of extra thought. Now here, if we're going to make the character look around in a really quick, easy time, let's just stretch those pupils out, anticipate that door, change the angle, pop it over to the other side, close that door, reveal the character behind. This character didn't even have animation. I had 2 hours for this scene, so it's just move on. If I have time at the end of it, I'll come back to it. That's great, but I have to get the bare minimum done. Here you can see I did a bit of floaty cycle on the fish there. With the kite, 6-frame cycle on the tail of the kite. This is all about just adding in enough animation to keep the story moving. Here, there is no animation for the first second or so until the heads pop out. So it gives us all the contrast. Then we get the facial expression reaction. This one here, we have 7 horns. So it was a matter of picking which horn was going to go next, offset them, make it interesting, time it into the music. This is all motivated by the music, obviously. Here, just masking the feet, so we have one behind, one in front. The character is going to have the wiggly ears here, wah, to match up to the dialogue. Now here's where I'm reusing those feet from that previous character. 13 legs on this character, and I've offset each of them by a frame. So you can see each leg is a frame behind, a frame behind, a frame behind, but all the same cycle for all 13 legs. This character here, again, 4 hours. I'm running out of time. There was no time to animate this character. If I have time, I'll come back and add some extra, but as it turned out, I did not. Now here, blessedly get to reuse all these cycles. Reuse Wubbzy coming in and honking the horn. Great. Thank you, storyboard artist and layout, for giving me that opportunity to reuse. Here again, we've got the arms going behind the body, and then they've got to come back out in front of the body. Just a lot of cheating, a lot of motion, a lot of contrast, a lot of look over here while we do this. It's the only way to get this done in such a short amount of time. 2 hours for this scene. So it just has to be, and layout did a huge service for us, setting everything up nicely, making all the designs work for us. Here, yeah, again, it's just rotating the arms. It didn't have much time for extra shape change on them. Wubbzy's tail, overshoot and settle. Pickles coming in, squash and stretch. Same with the mulligan stew, come in, squash and stretch, hit the invisible wall there, and then pull back out. Here, a lot of camera tricks, a lot of camera smash in, smash out, 6-8 frames, just to keep things moving, this spider, when I got to this, I was thinking, how the heck am I going to do this? Ended up just doing 4 legs at a time. 4 legs, 4 legs, 4 legs, 4 legs, because when I started, I think I spent an hour at first trying to animate each leg, and I had 8 hours for this scene, and I was thinking, okay, abandon that, I got to do something else. This one here, again, layout did such a wonderful job matching the storyboards, and it was more about working backwards. Get that final composition, and then animate out of it. Here, I was rapidly running out of time. I had 2 hours. Now, this lion's mane is going to go poof into little, feathers, and it was like, ideally, I would animate the entire thing. I've got 2 hours for this scene, so that's not going to happen. We're going to have 1 frame where I animate it traditionally, and then we're just going to pop into the final design that we were given. Not a lot of options there to get it done within the amount of time. Not my proudest animation moment, but it works. Again with the reuse. Now here, with these characters, just trying to keep them moving in nice arcs, and so that they're not popping too badly, that when we see them move, it kind of makes sense, it kind of flows, doing the best that we can to achieve those excellent compositions that we were given in the storyboards and in layout. Here we had Wubbzy just trying to do little things on the face, just add a little bit of overlap there, a little bit of angle change. Same with the Fleasel here. Yeah, just get that bit of 3-dimensionality if we can in this very, very 2D show. And then reuse there, have the balloons come down, do some nice offset on the balloons. That's very simple to do, doesn't take long, but adds a lot of visual contrast. Here comes the Fleasel, up, overshoot, settle. Here comes Wubbzy, hands up, down on the balloon. Here comes the monkey. And just trying to keep it so that there's visual interest all the way and help sell the song. And then we've got a nice 8-frame cycle on a Wubbzy's tail here just to end it all off. Oh, that was 64 hours, 8 days I did that in. And I mean, that takes, all this comes down to time management. It's about self-discipline. It's about having a work-life balance, making sure, I mean, I had young kids at the time, and it was like, oh yeah, okay, 6 o'clock, I gotta go. It's very, almost a very zen approach, I think, with animation. And it's one of the things I love about animation. Thanks a lot for checking it out. Like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.